All right, LIS learners and future librarians, welcome. Today, we're jumping right into a huge topic, the cataloging standard that's really shaping how we find information today. We're talking about resource description and access, or, as you'll come to know it, RDA.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the big problem catalogers were facing. Then, we'll talk about the massive conceptual shift that changed everything. That's FRBR. After that, we'll get to know RDA itself, see how it stacks up against the old rules, and wrap up with why this is absolutely essential for you to know.
All right, let's get into our first section. To really get why RDA is such a big deal, we have to understand the problem it was designed to solve.
So just think about it. How do you possibly organize everything? We're not just talking about books on a shelf anymore. Libraries are juggling physical books, ebooks, streaming videos, websites. It's a total information explosion. And the old rules, they just weren't built for this kind of world.
The standard we used to use was called ACR2, the Anglo-American Cataloging Rules. And look, it was great for its time, but it was designed for one thing: print. It was super rigid, very technical, and when the digital age hit, it couldn't keep up. It just wasn't handling all the new formats or what users actually needed online.
So what do you do when the old system just doesn't work? Well, you don't just patch it up with new rules. You have to completely rethink your approach from the ground up. And that's exactly what happened. It led to this incredible conceptual breakthrough known as the FRBR model.
FRBR, that's Functional Requirements for Bibliographic Records. Now, the key thing to get here is that FRBR isn't a rule book. It's more like a new philosophy. It's a whole new way of looking at information that says, hey, let's separate the creative idea from the physical thing it comes in. The whole point is to better match what a user is actually trying to find. And this is the heart of FARBR, right here. It's this beautiful four-level structure. You have the work, the expression, the manifestation, and the item. Now that might sound a little abstract. So to make it super clear, let's walk through a perfect example. Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice.
Okay, level 1, the work. This is the pure abstract concept. It's the story Jane Austen created in her mind. The characters, the plot, the whole shebang. It's not a book yet, it's just the core intellectual creation.
Then we move down to the expression. This is how that story gets, expressed. Is it the original English text? Is it a Spanish translation? Maybe it's the movie script or an audiobook read by an actor. All of those are different expressions of that one original work.
All right, next up is the manifestation. This is the physical or digital thing you can actually get your hands on. Think of it as the container. So it could be the 2005 Penguin paperback edition, with that specific cover. Or it could be the Kindle ebook file you download to your device.
And finally, we get to the item. This is the real-world specific copy that's sitting in the library. It's the book on the shelf with barcode 123456 that you can physically check out and take home. It's that one single instance.
So, as you can see, the FRBR model was a total game changer. An amazing idea, but it was just an idea, a concept. Libraries needed a real, practical tool to actually use it, and that's where RDA enters the picture.
And here it is. RDA, or Resource Description and Access. If FRBR is the brilliant architectural blueprint, RDA is the actual construction manual. It's the set of rules and guidelines that lets catalogers take that user-focused logic of FRBR and apply it in their day-to-day work.
Now, RDA has been around for a bit. It was officially introduced back in 2010 by a group called the Joint Steering Committee for Development of RDA. The key thing is, it was specifically designed to take over from the old AACR2 and finally give us a standard that works in the digital age.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the theory, but what does this shift actually look like? Let's do a direct head-to-head comparison between the old way, ACR2, and the new way, RDA.
You can really see the difference here. AACR2 was all about describing the object. RDA is all about the user. AACR2 was stuck on print. RDA handles everything. Digital, physical, you name it. And this is huge. RDA is built for linked data, which means it's designed to connect library information to the rest of the web. It's also international, not just for the English-speaking world. Basically, we're moving from rigid, prescriptive rules to a much more flexible and smart framework.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the how. But now for the most important part, especially for you. As someone heading into this field, why is this so critical?
Why does RDA matter for your career?
It's because RDA isn't just another set of cataloging rules to memorize. It's literally the toolkit you'll use to build the libraries of the future. With RDA, you can create search systems that are actually smart and intuitive for users. You're preparing library catalogs for the semantic web and linked data. You're future-proofing your own skills. And it empowers you to move beyond just following rules and start using your professional judgment to connect people with information.
I think this quote just nails it. It's all about a massive shift towards meeting user needs, working with modern technology, and collaborating on a global scale. It's not just a change in practice, it's a whole new way of thinking.
So that leaves us with this big question to think about. We now have these incredibly powerful tools like RDA that can connect information in ways we couldn't before. So the question for you is, what are you going to build with it? What new possibilities will you unlock for your users?
Hey, if this explainer helped you get your head around RDA and the future of the library catalog, do me a favor and hit that like button, share it with a classmate, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of LIS. Thanks so much for watching.